Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 2. In this video we're going to be talking about manifesting, how to do it right and how to do it wrong. There's a lot of misinformation out there these days that we're going to talk about. Manifesting is essentially a co-creative relationship between you and the universe. And today in this video we're going to go through 5 steps based on Gabrielle Bernstein's method of manifesting. If you don't know who Gabrielle Bernstein is, she is an author, a spiritual teacher. She has written books such as The Universe Has Your Back. She's written Judgment Detox, Miracles Now. Her books are really great, and most of them talk a lot about the manifestation process. So it's something that she is very good at. I would consider her an expert in the field of manifesting. And I've enjoyed many of her books, and I recommend checking her out. She has a lot of really great things to offer. If you have questions about which book I would recommend for your particular situation, of course, let me know. Okay, let's jump right in. So, manifesting has become a buzzword lately. It's become a trend, like, oh, you just gotta manifest it into your life. You pull in that good energy and then it just happens, and it's so easy. It's like magic. And yes, and also not quite. Okay. There are some misconceptions about what manifesting is, what it isn't, how it works, and how it doesn't. So we're going to clear that up today. And the reason that this is important to know is I'm going to be talking about this throughout the rest of our program. We're going to be talking about how to get crystal clear on what you want and how to align your energy, your frequency, and vibration to that thing that you want. So that's why we're doing this in the beginning of this program. We're going to be talking about it the rest of the time, and we'll come back to these principles time and time again. So, while it's really cool that manifesting and the law of attraction is now trendy, there are some misconceptions of how to do it, and it can be misleading for the folks who are unwilling to do the heavy lifting, because that is required with any kind of manifestation. Anything you want to bring into your life, there is heavy lifting involved by you, and that's okay. We get to accept that, right? So some things that I have seen, some examples of incorrect manifesting are things like, oh, I'm going to sit down and I'm gonna hold this stone, and I'm going to say this mantra, or I'm going to burn this candle, and then it's just going to come to me. It's just going to show up. It'll just show up on my doorstep, and there's nothing that I have to do. And I'm not going to put limits on what you are able to create or the power of manifestation that you have within you already. But if you're looking to make big change in your lives, which you're in this program, making big change in your life. If you're wanting big change in your life, you get to make those changes as well. You get to change the things that you do and how you operate in order to bring something new into your life. Doing the manifestation work is a piece of the puzzle. It's going to make it easier for you to bring in these new things into your life. It's going to make it more efficient, and you're going to change yourself in the process, but it's not going to do it for you. And that's the biggest thing that I see when people get into manifesting, that they just think it'll just work. If I sit and meditate and visualize it long enough, it'll just come to me. And like I said, it might. I'm not going to say it won't. I'm not going to put limits on it. But if we want something, we get to go do the work to go get it. And manifesting, especially what we're going to talk about today, can make that process more efficient and maybe even streamline some of those things. Okay? So, over the years, I've noticed that people will approach manifesting from the energy of, how can I get something better? How do I get I want a new car. I want a shiny new boyfriend. I want a new house. I want $100,000 in my bank account. All of those things are good, but they're focusing on the thing, the end goal. Okay, when what manifesting is really about is how can I feel better and therefore be an energetic match for this thing that I am calling in. Okay, that is the true path of manifesting. So the emphasis must be placed on healing the internal condition, not on just getting the fancy new shiny whatever it is. Okay, so we're going to talk about 5 principles to manifesting. And like I said, these are based on Gabrielle Bernstein's work. And when practicing these steps, be sure to stay committed to the goal of feeling good first and attracting the stuff later. The first goal is feeling good. And she says, when your primary function is to be happy, then whatever comes to you is irrelevant. Happiness becomes your true manifestation. Okay, so I recommend taking some notes during this one. This has some really juicy info in it. So if you don't have a notebook or a pen close to you, go grab one real quick, pause the video and come back. You're gonna wanna take some notes. So number 1 is, first step of manifestation is clearing space. Clearing space, okay? If we wanna call something new in and there's no space for that thing to go, it can't come in, right? So clearing that space is step 1. And what that means is, so it can mean a couple different things. One of the things that can mean is checking in with yourself and understanding where your disbelief in your ability to be happy, successful, loved, like whatever it is that you're wanting, releasing your disbelief in your ability to create that thing, okay? One of the best ways to do that is to begin a daily practice of prayer or meditation or visualization, talking with your higher power, your higher self, whatever that may be for you, to set you free from the limiting beliefs that block you from fully embodying and owning your greatness, okay? So this can look like a few different things. Let's see. So an example of paying attention to your limiting beliefs that are blocking you would be like when you think about something that you want, we'll use money for an example. That's one that brings up a lot of feelings for people, including myself. If someone says, you know, I want to manifest $10,000 by the end of the week, I think most of us would be like, what? I can't do that. $10,000 in a week? That's more than I make in a month. That's more than I make in 2 months, or whatever it may be. Like, that's impossible. No way. I can't do it. Okay, right away, all of those like thoughts and feelings and like, whoa, all of those represent limiting beliefs that you have about yourself and your ability and power to attract and create the things that you want in your life. Okay, so what this step would look like to clear space for yourself and release those disbeliefs is to first recognize, like, oh, I've definitely got some limiting beliefs about that. And then you start to address them. Okay, what are those limiting beliefs? One of those limiting beliefs is there's no way I can make that money in a week. I don't make that in a month. Okay, so we would then change that to, I am open to receive all that the universe is ready to give me. I am open to expanding my vessel, expanding my energy to receive amounts of money that I have never received before, in a timeline that I've never before received them. Okay, so when things like shame or fear or judgment or lack of trust in yourself, lack of trust in the universe, when you feel and notice those things come up, talk to yourself about where those things might have come in, and then change the story. Okay, so each day, a really great practice is to just release, like you can even just do this with prayer or intention, visualization, whatever, to release any and all limiting beliefs that you hold in your body, your mind, your energy. Just make a practice of saying, universe, please release me from anything and everything that is holding me back from my true greatness. Universe, thank you for releasing these things from my mind, from my experience. Thank you for showing me how powerful and how capable I am. Universe, thank you for always having my back. I know that I'm supported by you, and I feel so good and confident and capable of what I am able to do. Thank you for releasing anything in me that does not serve me and that does not align with what I am creating. Okay, so things like that are wonderful things to say to clear space. Get it out yourself. Get it out. You're better than that. Okay? All right. So, of course, this requires some mindfulness and awareness of ourselves, right? And one thing that is very, very important with mindfulness and with this process is to stay out of judgment. Okay, we must stay out of judgment when we're becoming aware of these limiting beliefs. If we go into judgment, we're just going to create more limiting beliefs about ourselves. Okay, so when you recognize those things, first offer yourself compassion and just kindly ask judgment to get the hell out. All right. So another thing that Gabrielle Bernstein talks about is staying open to signs from the universe. She talks a lot about this in her book, The Universe Has Your Back, where you develop a relationship with the universe and you ask for signs. It could be literally anything you want, but paying attention to those signs helps you feel empowered and like you are on the right track, like when you see those signs, right? It also trains your brain to look for the good and look for the things that you are creating. It shifts your focus from what you don't want to what you do want. So watching for those universal signs is a really great way to stay in touch with your manifesting process and to empower your manifesting process. Another thing to watch out for are, she refers to them as assignments from the universe. And an assignment from the universe may be a new relationship that helps you get into your internal baggage, your trauma. Maybe this new relationship helps you heal your fear. An assignment from the universe could also look like losing your job so that you can learn to rely on yourself more, to trust yourself more, to go even deeper into self-love, or maybe even rely on your community more. Okay? So assignments from the universe are tough sometimes, right? It's the things in life that we didn't exactly plan on or didn't exactly expect. But when we can notice that everything is happening for us and not to us, we can begin to see the lessons and the good and the truth and the light in the really tough things that life sometimes tosses at us. I believe that there is absolutely, in everything that happens to us, everything that comes across our path, there is good to be found in it. Even the hardest, like toughest times of our lives, there is good there. There are lessons there. And I invite you to think back to a time in your life that was really tough, or any other lessons or assignments that you know you've received from the universe, especially if you still have a really hard time thinking about that thing, if it brings up emotion when you think about it. See if it feels good to go back to that time and actively find the good. Find reasons to be grateful for that thing, and you'll notice that your perspective of it starts to shift, and that in the future it's not so hard to think about. But give that a try. There's good and light and growth available in everything if we choose to see it. Okay, and developing that takes practice, okay? Like, you're not going to be good at that overnight if you're just beginning with that kind of mindset. It takes practice, so be kind to yourself with it. Okay, so number one, we are clearing space. Number two, we are getting clear. And this is, I think, they're all important, but this is one of the most important parts of this, is to get really clear about what it is that you want to align with, what you want to attract into your life. Clear intentions for what you want to call in will get you clear results. Okay, the more specific you can be, the better results you're going to get. Otherwise, you're going to end up manifesting a lot of things that you didn't want. Okay. For example, so let's talk about ordering at a restaurant. That's something that I hope we all have experience with. When you go to a restaurant and you sit down, you open the menu, the waitress, the waiter, the server, that's what they're called now, right? Yeah, the server comes up and they're like, okay, what would you like to order? And if you sit there and you go, I don't know. I know I'm definitely hungry. I want something hot. Yeah, just bring me like a hot meal. I'm just hungry and I just want a hot meal. And then the server is like, okay, you got it, boss. And the server goes back to the back and comes out with a big plate of ham and potatoes and green beans. And you look at it and you're like, oh, I don't eat meat, actually. I don't want this. This isn't what I want. And the server's like, well, you didn't tell me what you want. You just said you wanted a hot meal. I brought you a hot meal. I gave you exactly what you asked me for. And you're like, yeah, but this isn't what I want. Okay, that is how, those are the kind of results we get when we manifest without getting really clear and specific. Okay, now another example of that is you go to a restaurant, you order exactly what you want. You say, you know what, I want a cheeseburger with bacon. This person isn't vegetarian, by the way. I want a cheeseburger with bacon and I want a side salad with ranch on the side. And then the server brings that out to you and you're like, oh, yes, perfect, thank you. Or the server brings it out to you and the ranch is not on the side, the ranch is on the salad. And you're like, actually, I ordered ranch on the side, so could you please take this one back and bring me what I ordered? And the server then goes like, oh, sure, yes, absolutely. Thank you for being specific. And thanks for not settling for anything that you didn't want. Okay? This is how manifesting can help get you exactly what you're looking for, but you got to be clear. Okay, so looking down here at my notes. So with your business, get clear on the things that are going to make you happiest about your business. Think about the people that you want to work with, the space that you want to work in. Think about your pricing, how much money you would like to make, how much time you want to spend on your business each week. Like, what's going to make you the happiest, best, most lit up version of yourself in your business, and get really clear on those things. This list helps clarify your intentions and access a vibrant mental picture of what it is that you desire. Okay? So, one of the most important things about this is identifying how you want to feel. Some people, it's hard for them to know exactly what they want in the moment. We're usually a lot better at knowing what we don't want than what we do want, but we usually know how we want to feel. And then when you can focus on that feeling, the feeling is what actually makes the manifestation come into form. Okay, and I have done this over and over and over throughout the years. I think about the way that I want to feel, and I think about things that support that feeling, and I get into that feeling and I get real juicy with it, and I just allow that feeling to completely wash over me, like, oh my gosh, I am booked out 3 weeks in advance. I have clients booked out for 3 weeks, and that just feels so good. And even if it hasn't happened yet, I'm getting in the feeling and embodying what it would be like to have myself booked out for 3 weeks, have full clients for 3 weeks. Oh, it feels so good. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so grateful for these clients. I'm so happy and ready and excited to serve them. Like, oh, it just feels so good, right? That's what we do when we get into the feeling of the thing. You can do vision boards, you can write your lists, you can do all of that day in and day out. It's not actually going to get you anywhere until you get involved with the feeling of creating that thing. Okay? Ha ha ha. Number 3, think it, feel it, believe it. Okay, so let's put these steps together. You're going to take your clear intention and spend time every day sitting in the feeling of what it is that you desire. You're going to think about what it would be like, imagine yourself in this scenario, and then just let the feeling wash over you. Or even like bringing that feeling up from inside of you and letting it come out and be embodied. You can do this in meditation or visualization. You can do this out in nature. You can even do this like in a time where you're like exercising, getting really in your body and focusing on how you want to feel there. That's a great time to do it. Okay, so stay with me a little bit here. We're going to get a little more metaphysical. So from a metaphysical perspective, If you believe it, then it is already here. Okay? We're going to talk about multiverse things. So the theory of the multiverse is that everything that has ever existed or will ever exist is happening somewhere, right? And like, I wouldn't call myself an expert in this, so my words might be a little choppy, but I hope you can follow me. So there are unlimited timelines and unlimited versions of you existing all right now in the wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, Doctor Who fans, way of things in the universe, okay? So when you think about something that you want to attract, or something that you want to be, let me back up here, sorry. So by aligning the way that you think and feel, aka your vibrational frequency, with what you want to attract, you draw yourself closer to the timeline where that is already happening. Okay? If you believe that what you want really is out there, like there is a version of you out there already experiencing it, by you aligning with that energy, you are pulling yourself toward that timeline like a magnet and bringing yourself closer and closer to it, and or bringing that timeline closer and closer to you. Okay, because as you begin to be in the energy of the things that you want, it's a law of the universe that they will be attracted to you. Law of the universe. That has to happen. Okay, so if you're getting results that you don't want, check in here. Where are your beliefs at? What are you really thinking? Are you doubting yourself? You've got limiting beliefs? Work on it here to bring it into your life externally. Functioning in this way, like working to bring those timelines closer to you, functioning in this way can create quantum leaps in your life. I've seen it in my own life and others. So just to share a quick personal example of this, it was my dream for years to open my own metaphysical healing place. And I wanted rooms in the back for practitioners to do their energy healing, and I wanted a big, beautiful space out in the front for retail and people, places where people could purchase the things that would help them create the life they want, like feel better and like enjoy. We also had so many fun, pretty things too. Had this vision for years, started a Pinterest board of the things that I wanted in there, and I would regularly, not every day, but I would regularly sit and like imagine what that place would look like and what that place would feel like, and what kinds of like how many windows and what the floor was like, and just all kinds of things. And I would sit and just like feel that, and I would throughout the day, when I saw a for rent sign on a retail space, I'd go in and peek in the window and like, ooh, is this my space? Is this it? Because I knew what it felt like, and I even knew what it looked like. And then one day I was just like still in the vibe of, you know, creating that, bringing that to me, and I called a number. I finally called a number on a window of a for rent sign. And that space wasn't it. I went and looked at it. That was the first space I had ever actually like looked at. And he was like, well, I've got another one. Do you mind if we just go see that one today? And I was like, yeah, sure. And like, I was not ready to open anything. It was a dream, right? I was like chasing this little pipe dream. But let me tell you, we went to this other location. I walked in the door and took about maybe 3-4 steps into this place. And I felt how I had felt during all of my visualizations of my store. The floor was how I wanted it to be. The windows were how I wanted it to be. There were perfect rooms in the back, just like I had envisioned. Space in front for retail, even space for like small classes and workshops. I walked in and was like, oh shit, like it's here. It's here. I did it. Like, ready or not, here it is, universe said. And in 3 months, like from that day to 3 months later, I worked my ass off and I opened my retail store in 3 months. And I wasn't ready. Like, it was There will be more stories about that later, but this stuff works, is what I'm saying to you, okay? Okay. So that is thinking, feeling, and believing it. Our next step in the manifestation process is to chill. You gotta chill. You gotta just chill. This step is crucial because it lets the universe know that you do actually trust it. The book A Course in Miracles teaches those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait and wait without anxiety. Okay, when you're sure of what is coming to you, when you're already sure of the outcome, you're not going to sit in worry or anxiousness. You're going to just know that it's going to come. And you can sit back and just like, nah, I'm good. I can chill. I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's coming to me. That kind of belief and like being unshakable about that kind of belief is such a key part of bringing these things to you. Okay? We think that like, I've done the visualization, I've even put forth like action steps, I'm doing the thing. Where is it? Where the hell is the thing that I'm looking for? The thing that I'm calling in? Chill. Just chill. It's on its way. It's coming to you. Okay? So the message of those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. Take this message with you and allow it to guide you into the belief that what you desire is already on its way. And also trust that the universe has a much better and probably much smarter plan than you do. And trust in that universal timing. We may think that we know the timing that's best for us, but we don't always. So the fact that it doesn't happen right away doesn't mean that it wasn't right or you did anything wrong. It means that the perfect timing just isn't right now, but it is sometime in the future. Okay? You can't control when, you can't control the form that it comes in. You just trust that you've put forth the work, the intention, the desire, and the universe is bringing it to you in the perfect way and in the perfect timing. Okay, so the last step of this process is to trust. Trust the process. Easier said than done, but this is such an important part. So accepting your greatness in the moment, right now, as you are, messy and incomplete and unsure and all the things, accepting your greatness right now, as you are, is what manifests more greatness. Being in the now helps you notice where you are already living the life of your dreams. It helps you see those good things, those little like pockets or glimmers of joy and excitement of like, oh, it's actually already right here. I just wasn't aware of it. I couldn't see it, but it actually is right here. The clients that I'm calling in, who knew that the neighbor 2 doors down that I had never spoken to was totally into like Reiki and metaphysical stuff and natural healing? What? They've been there this whole time. I just wasn't aware of them, right? When you feel it, you live it, regardless of what's happening on the outside. In time, the universe will catch up with your energy and it will reward you for staying in that belief and staying in that trust. The process, I like this part, the process of allowing the manifestation to follow your internal faith is the true process of co-creation. Feeling good is the true manifestation. Everything else is just icing on the already delicious cake. Okay? So when you're looking around and your logical brain or your ego brain is like, I'm doing all the work, but I don't see it here. I don't see it. It's not here yet. Saying things like that is going to make sure that it never gets to you. It's not here yet. It's not here yet. I don't see it. Prove it to me. Okay? You get to have full belief and like some blind faith that it is already here. And then you're training yourself to become aware of it right now here in the experience that you are living. Okay? So get out there, go manifest everything that you're wanting, get really clear about what it is that you want to call in, and then work on the internal stuff here, those limiting beliefs, those the mistrust of self, like whatever is coming up for you. Work on that here. You can work on that with me too. I got your back. And this is going to help you get to where you want to be with more efficiency and less trouble. Okay? Thanks so much. Go out and create it.